Thank you for joining us for our 15-minute silent meditation. Let us begin by taking a deep, centering breath.
Good morning, and welcome to Creative Living Fellowship's online Sunday service. Please join me in singing our opening song, Use Me. Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. I used to think God was the sun, God is the sun, and God's so much more than the earth and the stars and all of creation. God is creator, all in all, and God needs us to shine its light as me, as you, so use me. Oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Command my hands, what must they do? Command my life, it's here for you. God is the love that heals all creation. God is creator, makes all things new, and God needs us to shine its light as me, as you, so use me. Oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do.
Good morning. Welcome to Creative Living Fellowship. I'm the Reverend Dr. Sherry F. McCreary, the Senior Minister here at Creative Living Fellowship, and it is my honor to welcome you here this day. We are a religious science church and teaching center, and we honor and welcome all paths that lead to truth. If you're joining us for the first time today, we know that you had a lot of options, and we are really happy that you chose to spend this Sunday morning with us. We have a special welcome message that we give to people who are visiting with us for the first time, and I'd like to give that to you right here and right now. So let's take a breath together. Whoever you are, wherever you've been, whatever brought you to our service today, we welcome you here into our hearts. Namaste. Namaste is a Sanskrit word that means the God in me recognizes and honors the God in you, and that we do here at Creative Living Fellowship. We have two practitioners who are holding high watch for us today, Ronda Emmrich and Jeannie Soverns. And what that means is that they are sitting in meditation and prayerful contemplation, just holding a space for the perfect unfolding of this time here today. And they are also holding a space for the perfect unfolding of anything that may be going on in our lives, anything that we may be moving through at this time. And so I thank Jeannie and I thank Ronda for their service here today. Our AV team who's bringing this service to us live stream today are Nicole Jordan and Luis Morales. So thank you guys for your service. And we also thank David Panessa, our music director, and Deb Covington for our opening song. Thank you guys for coming out this morning. We're really glad to be out here, even though we are masked and gloved, and we're still here bringing this service to you. So thank you for joining us this morning. We're going to have video announcements by Nicole Jordan coming up now, and after the announcements, there will be a brief gong wash. And after the gong wash, there'll be a few moments of silence, and then practitioner Fran Peck, who is also celebrating her birthday today. Happy birthday, Fran. She's serving on her birthday today. She will bring us the reading and the evocation. But right now, we're going to have the announcements.
Good morning, Creative Living Fellowship. Are you ready for your announcements? Remember that you can join us for midday meditation on Facebook at noon, Monday through Thursday. We look forward to seeing you there. Stay connected and supported, and join Reverend Sherry every Tuesday as she hosts a Community Care Connection Zoom meeting at 6:30 p.m. You can find the Zoom link information in the comments, our weekly email, on our website, and in our Facebook events. We look forward to seeing you on Tuesday. We have a new feature for making contributions to CLF easier, and that's Text to Give. Simply text the amount you'd like to give to 602-610-1868. Like with anything, if this is your first time using this feature, you'll need to set up your account. So you'll get a message back with a link. Using that link, you will determine your payment method. This payment method will then be linked with your phone going forward, so in the future, all you need to do is text in the amount you're donating.
Hello, CLF. This is Rochelle McCreary and Monica Zickus, and I am here today to tell you about Financial Peace University, a course that's being hosted right here at CLF. Now, are you ready to take control of your money or to get rid of money stress? If so, Financial Peace University is absolutely the next step for you. It is a 9-lesson course that's designed to help you build a budget, get rid of debt, grow your wealth, and leave money stress behind forever. Each lesson is taught by Dave Ramsey and his team of financial experts, and each lesson is based on biblical wisdom and just plain old common sense. So in your FPU group, you'll be motivated and encouraged by others just like you, and that's why I want everyone at CLF to sign up for Financial Peace University so we can go through this together as a community. Now, in your FPU group, you'll be listening to watching videos, you'll be having discussions. We'll do all of this on Zoom, and you will also get an exclusive membership to Financial Peace membership, which will give you access to online tools and other things to help on your journey to financial freedom. So if this sounds like something you want to do, please join us. Financial Peace University at CLF starts on Wednesday, May 13th, and goes through Wednesday, July 8th. We meet on Wednesdays from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. Mountain Time. And Monica and I will be facilitating the course, and Dave Ramsey and his team actually teach the course. So we encourage you to sign up. And the only way you can sign up for this course is you have to sign up online. Nicole is putting the link right there in the Facebook group. It'll be posted on the Facebook page. If you have any questions, put them right there in the Facebook group or page, and we'll be happy to answer any questions. But you do have to register with Financial Peace University, and then CLF is hosting the course. And just as an FYI, we have members of the Phoenix community who are not members of CLF who are already registered for the course because we're on Dave Ramsey's website for this. So this is going to be really exciting for our community to go through this and for us to attract in others who also want to walk through this time with new tools to have financial abundance and financial peace, most of all. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you guys on Wednesday, May 13th. Love you all.
Next Sunday at noon, Heather Houston is facilitating Singing the World Awake, a Zoom workshop that's a virtual song circle for all voices. In this fun and healing Zoom workshop, you will learn and sing healing songs and chants together as a group. With our voices raised together in song, we will explore the beauty of vocal meditation, calm and soothe our nervous systems, connect more deeply to our center, experience joy, laughter, and inspiration. Let's sing together, heal together, and rise together. All voices are welcome. Singers and non-singers are welcome. Let's sing the world awake. Zoom link and password provided after you register. And you can find your registration link in the comments, our weekly email, in a Facebook events, and under events on our website. And that's it for today's announcements. It is now time to move on to our gong wash with a brief moment of silence.
Keep fresh before me the moments of my high resolve. Despite the dullness and barrenness of the days that pass, if I search with due diligence, I can always find a deposit left by some former radiance. But I had forgotten. At the time it was full, orbed, glorious, and resplendent. I was sure that I would never forget. In the moment of its fullness, I was sure that it would illume my path for all the rest of my journey. I had forgotten how easy it is to forget. There was no intent to betray what seemed so sure at the time. My response was whole, clean, authentic. But little by little, there crept into my life the dust and grit of the journey. Details, lower-level demands, all kinds of cross-currents, nothing momentous, nothing overwhelming, nothing flagrant, just wear and tear. If there had been some direct challenge, a clear-cut issue, I would have fought it to the end and beyond. In the quietness of this place, surrounded by the all-pervading presence of God, my heart whispers, keep fresh before me the moments of my high resolve, that in fair weather or foul, in good times or in tempests, in the days when the darkness and the foe are nameless or familiar, I may not forget that to which my life is committed. Keep fresh before me the moments of my high resolve. This reading is from The Moments of High Resolve by Howard Thurman, from For the Inward Journey. Let's take these words deep into our hearts as we take them into prayer. So turn deep with me now, where the power and the presence of Spirit live within you, where life and love and peace reside, where there is only joy, only harmony, only perfection. That power and that presence that is back of all things, that lives, moves, has its being, and expresses uniquely and individually as me and as all of its creation. So knowing this to be the truth of my being, I know this to be the truth for us all. We are all that power and that presence personified. That life is our life. And so in this knowing, I speak my word of blessing over this service and this day, knowing that everything that needs to be is already done in the one mind of Spirit. I bless Reverend Dr. Sherry and her words of wisdom, knowing that they are divinely inspired, divine word of God. I bless every member of our congregation, knowing that the power and the presence of Spirit is right where each of them is, holding them, protecting them, prospering them. I send special blessings around this country and around this world during this time, knowing that everything that needs to be is already present. I bless our first responders. I bless our medical professionals. I bless our teachers and our parents. And on this special day, I send special blessings. Happy Mother's Day to all, knowing and recognizing the Divine Mother in each of us. I bless teachers of truth everywhere, knowing that we are all one. And so in profound gratitude for this knowing and for the perfect unfolding of this service and this day, I say thank you, life. Thank you, God. Thank you, divine, infinite presence. And I simply release my word, knowing that it is already done. I not just allow it to be. And so it is.
In the middle of the turbulence surrounding you, these trying times are so hard to endure. In the middle of be assured, this too shall pass, like every night that's come before it. He'll never give you more than you can bear. This too shall pass. So in this thought you'd be comforted, for it's in God's hands. This too shall pass. The Father knows the tears you cry before they fall. He feels your pain. His heart and yours are one. The Father knows that sorrow's heavy chains are strong, but with His strength you'll overcome. This too shall pass, like every night that's come before it. He'll never give you more than you can bear. This too shall pass. So in this thought you'll be comforted, for it's in His hands. This too shall pass. So set your eyes upon the mountain and lift your head up to the sky, and let His arms of love surround you. Let Him take you, let Him take you to the other side. This too shall pass, like every night that's come before. He'll never leave you. He'll never give you more than you can bear. This too shall pass. So in this thought you'll be comforted. It's in God's hands. Oh, it's in God's hands. This too shall
That would be a wow. That would be a real wow. Our thanks to one of our favorite friends, Charity Lockhart, our musical inspiration today. And this too shall pass. Let's take a breath as we just take that in. Thank you so much, Charity, for being with us this morning and bringing us our music this morning. And this too shall pass. What a wonderful thing for us to remember, wonderful thing for us to recall. Let me just say happy Mother's Day to the mothers out there, those who are mothers, those who are mother figures, those who are grandmothers, those who mother. Happy Mother's Day to all of us this morning. And keeping in mind also that mothering is really about nurturing, about giving, about loving, about caring. And it's even though in our society, in the human society, mothers are female, mothers are feminine, but there's a divine feminine within each one of us. And that mothering, that nurturing is within each one of us. And so we recognize all the mothers. We recognize the mothering that we do on this Mother's Day. And we specifically recognize the people who are mothers and who are giving, nurturing, and caring and loving to others. And enjoy this day. This is a wonderful day. Even though we can't always get to see our loved ones today, during this time, we can't always get to spend time. We can't spend our Mother's Day the way we usually do. Just be in the place where we are right here and right now, and just take a deep breath and be grateful for the fact that we are here and that we get to open up and we get to recognize this day and be recognized on this day as we recognize others on this day. And so again, I say Happy Mother's Day, recognizing that there is that divine feminine, as I said, within each one of us. We talk about the Father, Mother, God, the Mother God principle, that divine feminine that is within each one of us, that God principle that nurtures us, that loves us, that protects us, that cares for us, that lifts us up. That's the principle that we are tapping into when we're thinking about mothering. And so today, well, for the month, our theme is the promise in steadfastness, the promise in steadfastness. Being steadfast, being faithful, being loyal, being reliable, being dependable. This is what steadfastness is all about. And these are qualities of God. God is steadfast. God is always right where we are. Always we can rely on that upon which we can rely. Always that upon which we can depend. God is always caring, always loving, always nurturing, always mothering us. Always mothering us. The mother imparts her beingness, her entire beingness, to her offspring. God imparts its beingness to us as its offspring. And so there's that dance, there's that interaction of the mother within each one of us, the mother that's deep within us, that mother principle that is always revealing itself in and through and as our very lives, always. And so we just take a breath as we just open up to receive this morning, to receive this nurturing, to receive this caring, to receive this loving, to know that we didn't have to earn it. We just, by divine birthright, it is ours because it's already been given to us. God is the gift and the giver, and God is always loving us, always caring for us, always nurturing us, always mothering us. And so no matter what has happened before, no matter where we've been, no matter what we've done, no matter what we haven't done, my topic today is begin again. Begin again. Begin again. We may not have done the kinds of things we wanted to do. We may not have accomplished the things we wanted to accomplish. We may have done some things we didn't want to do. We may be really down in the dumps about the way things are going in our lives right now. Take a deep breath. Recognize where you are and recognize that we can begin again. We can begin again. And each and every moment of each and every day, we can always begin again. And that is so refreshing to me. That is so encouraging to me. My mother used to say that don't be concerned about what you can't do or what you haven't done or whether it's too late to do something. She said, as long as you have breath in your body, you can do something. As long as you have breath in your body, you can make a change. As long as you have breath in your body. Those were her favorite words in that regard. As long as you have breath in your body, you can do something different. You can start over. You can begin again. And so that's what I'm saying. Let's just take this breath into our bodies and know that we can begin again. We can start anew wherever we are. And we have to know where we are before we can know where we want to go. We have to know where we are. Take a look at where we are. And we may not like this place where we are. Looking around our world today, we don't like this place where we are. But this is where we are. This is where we are. So what are we going to do now? This is where we are. When we look at this, when I'm looking out at this sanctuary this morning, it's an empty sanctuary. That's not my favorite view from up here. It's not what I'd like to see here. But this is where I am. This is where we are. This is where we are. So what do? We're going to have to begin again here at Creative Living Fellowship. We don't know what that looks like. But you know, there's that within us that does know. There's that within us that does know exactly what this looks like, because all of this is a divine idea in the mind of God. All of us are divine ideas in the mind of God. This time is a divine idea in the mind of God. And God knows exactly how this is going to play out, how this is going to work out. And what we need to do is return unto God. What we need to do is return unto that place and that space within us that already knows exactly how this is going to unfold. Ernest Holmes says that there's a law of unfoldment. And it is always doing just that. It is always unfolding. It is always unfolding. And when we are in alignment with it, we are unfolding with it without resistance, without fighting it, without fear, without anxiety, without concern. We turn it over. We turn whatever our concerns are, whatever our anxieties are, whatever our fears are, we turn them over. We turn them over and just allow that divine presence within us, that divine mother within us, to work it out for us, to work it out for us. And it always works out. It always works out. So I invite you to take a breath today and look at where is it that you want to begin again. Where is it can you begin again? Where is it that you feel that you've just stopped and things have come to a standstill, or you're headed in a different direction or a wrong direction or whatever the case may be, and you've decided, you know what, I want to start again. I want to begin again. You know, I always say that life is like a big Baskin Robbins. That's probably because ice cream is my favorite food. But and I don't know why I even mentioned ice cream. I haven't had any in so long. But at any rate, life is like a big Baskin Robbins. And, you know, we can go in and we can make, they have 31 flavors. And we can go in and we can make a choice about what kind of ice cream we want. And we get back home and realize, I didn't like that at all. I don't want that. We don't just sit down and decide, well, I'm not going to ever have ice cream again, or I'm not going to do anything because I got one that I didn't like, or I got one that upset my stomach, or whatever the case may be. We just go back and decide, oh, this time I'm going to pick another one. This time I'll take a different flavor. And this time I won't try something so exotic. This time I'll try something plain. And we try that out. And if that doesn't work, then we can go back and try another one. That's the way life is. That's the way life is. We have so many choices. We have so many opportunities to choose. We have so many opportunities to make a choice. If it's not the right choice, then we can make another choice. And we can make another choice. And we can make another choice. And we're not eternally bound by the choices we make unless we don't make a different choice, a higher choice. Because, you know, the choices that we make have their consequences. They have that whole law of cause and effect. We set a cause in motion when we make a choice, and then we get the effects of that, the consequences of that choice we've made. We aren't eternally bound by that unless there's a higher choice that we could make and we didn't make that choice. And so then we start to make different choices, and we start to look at life differently, and we recognize, yeah, this is kind of like a Baskin Robbins. I can just go choose another one, and I can go choose another one. I can go make another choice, and I can go make another choice. That's how life unfolds. That's how life unfolds, and that's how we unfold with it, recognizing that all we need to do is begin again. All we need to do is continue to say yes. You know, our theme for the year is life is for living, just say yes. It just went out of my head. Life is for living, just say yes. Life is for living, just say yes. That's all we have to do is continue to say yes to life, continue to say yes, continue to say yes, continue to say yes, and let each yes take us higher. Let each yes take us higher. Let each yes take us deeper into the conscious awareness of the power and the presence of God that is always with us. Take us deeper into the awareness that we have the power to change our lives by changing our thinking. We have the power to change our lives by changing the way that we operate in the world. We change our lives because when we change our thinking, we change our lives. When we change our thinking, we change our beliefs. When we change our beliefs, our lives change as a result. And so as we continue to move through this time of changing our thinking, changing our beliefs, changing our lives, then we get to see where we are. We get to see not only where we are, we get to see who we are. Because you see, we are where we are because of who we are. And we are where we are because of who we are, and we are who we are because of who we believe we are, who we think we are. God has already identified us with this wholeness, with this perfection, with this intelligence. And all we need to do is step into that identity that has already been given to us, already imparted to us, and then live according to that identity. Sometimes we don't remember that. Sometimes we get caught up in what Howard Thurman calls the dust and grit of the journey. The dust and grit of the journey, that's also known as life. I love that term, dust and grit of the journey. Sometimes we get caught up in it. And what we're experiencing right now, having to stay home, having to socially distance, having to wear masks, having to wear gloves, this is a part of the dust and grit of the journey. It really is. And you know what? As the song says, and this too shall pass. As Scripture says, this too shall pass. And what we need to do is not sit up and wait for it to pass, but we have to keep living. We have to keep living. How do I live through this? How do I begin right now, right where I am? How do I begin again right now with this mask on? How do I begin right now not being able to hug my loved ones or see my children or my child today or my parent today, my mother today? How do I live through this? How do I walk through this? That's determined by how we are choosing to live our lives. Ernest Holmes says that we must not separate life from living, but we must unite the two into a perfect one. We must not separate life from living, but we must unite the two into a perfect one. We can't separate life from living, and very often we do separate life from living. Life and then living, and we don't always allow ourselves to live life fully and live life completely and live life totally right where we are, no matter what the circumstances may be. Because our ability to live life is not determined by circumstances. We have to determine how we're going to live in spite of the circumstances, how we're going to live through these circumstances. And when we make that determination, what we are doing is up-leveling our consciousness so that our circumstances do begin to change. Our awareness of it, our experience of it begins to change. And that's what we want to do, just allow ourselves to be in the place where we are. Allow ourselves to be fully present wherever it is we are. And then move through that. Setting our intention, also known as the reading was saying, moments of high resolve, having those moments of high resolve, where we are setting our intention to live our lives fully, to continue to move forward in our lives, to decide how we're going to live. Because that's what's being determined for us right now. That's what we're being called on to do right now. That's what we're being called to do right now, to move up higher, to make some decisions about how we're going to live. What's our life going to look like? What's our world going to look like? What's our society going to look like? What's our home going to look like? What's our family going to look like? What's my life going to look like? How do I want it to look? I may have wanted it to look a certain way 2 months ago. That may not be possible now. How do I want it to look right now? What do I want to do right now? How do I want to be right now? What do I want to see right now? What do I want to see right now? What do I want to see right now? Ernest Holmes says every day we should be thinking about, calling to mind the things that we want in our lives, and then taking a picture of that and keeping that picture in our minds on a daily basis, and then turning that picture over to the law. And as we turn that picture over to the law, then something happens on the inner side of life, and we begin to manifest those things. We don't have to do anything to make it happen. We just begin to manifest because we've turned it over to law. But we have to first decide what it is we want, having a determination on a daily basis of what it is we want, how we want our lives to be, making a picture of it, keeping a picture in our minds, and then turning that over to the law. And the law always operates. The law always operates. The law always says yes. And when we turn that over, that's how we begin again. Because things start to shift. They may be more gradual than we'd like, but Ernest Holmes also says that when things are happening gradually, when things are gradually getting better, then we're headed in the right direction. When the tenor of things is gradually getting better, when we are beginning to experience more peace, when we're beginning to experience more harmony, more joy, more of the spiritual qualities, the God qualities in our lives, then we are in a place where we have begun again. Where we have begun again. And so I'm inviting you to look at where you want to begin again in your life. Where do you want to begin? What have you dropped the ball on? What are you still holding on to from the past? Because, in order to begin again, you got to resist nothing. You got to resist nothing. You got to give up resistance to everything. But when you're refusing to change and refusing to let go of the past, we are in resistance. Because we're in the past and we are not going with the flow. We're in the past and we are not in that place of high resolve. We're in the past and we're not in that place of high intention. And so what I'm inviting us today on this Mother's Day to do is to mother our own consciousness. Let's start to mother our own consciousness. Starting to nurture our consciousness by constantly being in that place of the awareness of the power and the presence of God, of being in that place of centering, being in that place of meditation and prayer, being in that place of spiritual practice, being in that place of forgiveness, being in that place of compassion, being in that place of releasing and letting go of judgment, and releasing and letting go of blame, and releasing and letting go of shame, and releasing and letting go of all those things that would block, all those things that would hold us back. Releasing and letting go of all that stuff, and just decide that, I'm going to be fully present right here and right now. And I'm going to practice the presence of God right here and right now. I'm going to be aware of the fact that there's only one life and one power and one presence and one mind and one breath and one activity right here and right now. And I'm going to be at one with that. I'm going to be at one with that. And I'm going to see how I can give that one full expression in my life as my life. I'm going to see how it wants to show up in my life as my life, even in the midst of this pandemic, even in the midst of this mask that I'm wearing that's really irritating me. Even in the midst. And every Sunday I come in here and I'm just slightly irritated when I walk in, because I would have come from home with the mask on. By the time I get here, it's hot. And and then everybody was walking around with a mask on, and then I have to just stop and say, just wait a minute. Just take a breath. Just step back. Just thank God. Just thank God for the mask. Thank God for the opportunity to wear it. Thank God for the opportunity to have these beings who show up here with me on Sunday mornings to put on this service. Thank God for the opportunity that we all get a chance to begin again every Sunday morning when we come in here. Every Sunday morning. Thank God for that. Thank God for the opportunity to share with you, our audience, to share with you, our congregation, to share with you, our listeners, to share with you this awareness of this awesome power, this awesome presence, this awesome isness that is God. To share with you the awareness that we all have of that. And when we really can just step back and step into that place of just being aware of the isness of God, just being aware of the presence of God, do you know that's beginning again? Do you know that's beginning again? Because what happens is all that stuff falls away. All that irritation with the mask falls away. All that irritation with wearing the gloves falls away. Because I don't have time to sit up and think about it. I don't have time to sit up and be concerned about it. I don't have time to, it's like I have moved into a different place. I've moved into a different space. And now I can begin again. This is how we mother our consciousness. Because we are constantly doing those things that will nurture. As I said, we're doing our spiritual practice. We're doing our affirmations. And sometimes we have to do affirmations all day long. Sometimes we have to do them all day long to move out of the space that we find ourselves in. Sometimes we have to do them every minute. Moment by moment, we're doing them. Sometimes we just have to sit and breathe and sit and center and sit and just really become aware. Really become aware of God's presence. Really become aware. Sometimes that's where our beginning again starts. That's where our beginning again is. That's where our mothering of our consciousness is. Sometimes we have to forgive again. Sometimes we have to forgive again. And if you watch TV and you see all the news reports about what's going on with COVID-19 and the way different people are handling different things, you can get caught up. You can get caught up easily in negative thinking, getting caught up in judgment, getting caught up in blame, getting caught up in all kinds of stuff. And you know what? Once we do that, we become imprisoned by that. We become imprisoned by our judgment. We become imprisoned by our blame. We become imprisoned because we're sitting up at home. We can't go out anywhere, and we're sitting up getting angry, or we're sitting up judging, or we're sitting up criticizing, or we're sitting up doing whatever it is we do. And before we know it, that higher consciousness has gone out the window. That higher resolve has gone out the window. And now we're in the pits. Now we're in the pits. And then if we don't do something about it, then we go deeper and deeper into it, because then we start to think about all the other things that are wrong. We start to think about the little things around our house that irritate us. We start to think about people who irritate us, or somebody calls us on the phone, or a robocall comes in, or whatever the case may be. But there's always something that can pull us off center. There's always something that can pull us off center, unless we are determined that we are remaining at center. We are returning over and over and over again to center. We're returning over and over again to the power and presence of God. We are returning over and over again to the truth that we know, and this too shall pass. That's the truth that we know, that there is a beyond this. There is a beyond this. Whatever it is that's going on in our lives, not only the big thing like the pandemic, but whatever it is we experience, there is a beyond this. And that's an affirmation for us. There is a beyond this. There is a beyond this. And keeping that in mind, then we can begin again. Because there's a beyond this. This is where I am, but there's a beyond this. I want to get beyond this. So what steps do I take to get beyond this? And as I started to say earlier, it may be forgiveness. It may be that forgiveness step. How many times do we have to do that? As many times as we have to do it. That's how forgiveness works. As many times as we have to do it. How many times do I have to forgive that person? As many times as we have to forgive that person. That's how it works. And so forgiveness may be your begin again point today. Forgiving whoever for whatever. Forgiving yourself for whatever. Maybe your beginning point today, your begin again point today. Recognizing that there is something beyond this pain that I'm holding. There's something beyond this hurt that I'm holding. There's something beyond this grudge that I'm holding. There's something beyond this resentment that I'm holding. There's something beyond all this. There is a beyond this. And in order for me to get beyond it, what do I need to do in this moment? I need to release it. I need to let it go. I need to forgive. I need to release. I need to let go. I need to forgive. And it doesn't matter how many times I've done it before. I can begin again right now, just like I've never done it before. I can begin again right now, and that's what frees up our hearts. That's what frees up our entire being. That's what frees us up to experience that radiance, that magnificent radiance that is God. That magnificent radiance that is our very life. That magnificent radiance is always seeking expression in and through and as our lives. That is always seeking to heal us. That is always showing up as wholeness to the degree that we allow it to in our lives. And that's what we can do with forgiveness. That's what we can do when we open our minds and we open our hearts and we're willing to just let it go. Take a breath with me. We just let it go. We let it go and we recognize that the only thing that's real is the presence of God. The only thing that's real is the power of God. The only thing that is real is God itself. And so what we want to do is to always be in alignment with that is real. That is real. We want to be in alignment with that lives and moves and has its being in us and be in alignment with that can make all things new. That can make all things new. And we recognize that we don't have to do that all by ourselves. Beginning again is not something that we have to do all by ourselves. We don't have to search outside ourselves. We have to just turn within. turn within and recognize that everything we need to know, everything we need to do, everything we need to be is already right where we are. Already right where we are. Everything is already right where we are. Everything we need is already right where we are. As I said, God is the gift and the giver. God has already given of itself, totally. And all we have to do is open up to receive it. And when we forget that, we get a chance to begin again. Because we take a breath and say, oh yeah, I forgot how easy it is. I forgot how easy it is to forget. And I can return right here, right now. I don't have to do anything magic. I don't have to beseech and beg and plead. I don't have to make amends. I don't have to do any of that. I can just take a breath and return unto God. I can take a breath and return home. I can take a breath and make the commitment to begin anew, to begin again. And that's what we do here today on this Mother's Day. I'm asking you to begin mothering your own consciousness by clearing it of stuff that doesn't serve, by freeing it up of stuff that doesn't serve, and nurture it and love and care for it by feeding it the truth, feeding it truth principles, feeding it the practice of the presence of God, feeding it and nurturing it, loving it with the love of God, allowing it to be bathed in the love of God. That's how we mother our own consciousness, and that's how we begin again. So let's take a breath and just turn within in this moment. Just turning within to that place of knowing God's presence right here, right now. That place of recognizing there's but one presence. That place of recognizing there's but one life. That place of recognizing there's but one mind, one breath. That one is my life. That one is the life of each of us, the source of our being. That one, in all of its fullness and all of its glory, lives and moves and has its being in me as I live and move and have my being in it. That one is the solution to all problems, challenges, or whatever. That one is right where I am always, because there can be no separation between that one and me. There is no separation, can be no separation, for I am made in the image and likeness and out of that one itself. And so just knowing this truth, I stand in this knowing right here, right now, as I speak the word for each of us this day. As we release and let go of regrets, we release and let go of old stuff that we hold on to, we release and let go of the dust and grit of the journey. And we allow our hearts to be open, we allow our minds to be open, as we recognize that in God we are always beginning again. In God, we're always starting anew. In God, we're always starting from a fresh point, a fresh starting point. And that's what we're doing right here, right now, this day. Just opening our hearts, opening our minds to love, to peace, to joy, to healing in the body temple, to healing in our bodies of affairs, to healing in our financial affairs, and the awareness of abundance and prosperity that is flooding through our being, flooding through our lives. That all needs being met is flooding into our lives right here and right now, because God is. Because God is. And so this word goes out to anyone this day who needs a prayer this day. To anyone who needs the word spoken this day. Anyone who is impacted or suffering from or dealing with COVID-19 physically. Those who have lost loved ones, those who are experiencing it themselves, those who have loved ones they're concerned about. I know that healing presence of God is right in the midst, right where they are, guiding and directing and healing their hearts. And God, the great comforter, is comforting them right here and right now. This word goes out to any mother, all the mothers on this planet, all the mothers who are mothering this day, in that mothering consciousness this day, knowing that healing is taking place, wholeness is revealing itself right here and right now. And so I pause momentarily so that you may speak the names of anyone you'd like held in prayer right now. You may speak their names silently or loud, and you may speak them now. And so for all those whose names were spoken here this day, I know that right where each of them is, God is. Blessing and keeping. Loving. Mothering. Lifting up. Healing. I simply say thank you, Father, Mother God. Thank you, Divine Feminine. Thank you, Divine Mother. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I just allow it to be now. And so it is. So this is our offering time, the time that we give of our tithes and our offerings and support Creative Living Fellowship. We are a tithing church, so we invite you to participate in this sacred practice with us today by pressing the donate button on your Facebook page or on our website and joining in this sacred practice of giving and receiving. We also have the new feature, as Nicole mentioned in the announcements, text to give, so you can text your donation to us this morning. We certainly appreciate it. Our financial obligations, as I say every week, did not end when our in-person services did. So we appreciate your continuing to support this ministry in the way that you have. We are very, very grateful for that. So Charity is going to bring us another song as we move into our offering time.
I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that has made me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. I think I can make it now. The rain and the pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is the rainbow that I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Look around, it's nothing but blue sky. Straight ahead, nothing but blue sky. See all obstacles in my way, going on the dark clouds, yeah, it made me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, hey, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Oh, yes it is. It's gonna be a bright, oh, bright, sunshine. I'm looking for the sunshine. It's gonna be a bright, oh, bright, sunshiny day. Yes, it is. Gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Oh.
Thank you, Charity. we welcome you back here. We're glad that you were here with us again this morning. A couple of announcements that I have. Don't forget that on Wednesday evening, we have the Financial Peace University class that starts on Zoom. That was one of the classes that we had planned to have here in the sanctuary and invite the entire community to come out and share in this class on Wednesday evenings. And as it turns out, we're not able to do it in person. However, we are doing it on Zoom, and we still are inviting the entire CLF community to come together on Wednesday evening, starting this Wednesday at 6:30 with Cheryl McCreary and Monica Zickus, to come together and let's become financially healthy and financial peace, having financial peace together as a community. I think it's going to be a wonderful class and a wonderful opportunity. We have quite a few people who have signed up for the class who are not from CLF and who are from other states, as a matter of fact, because we're on the Financial Peace website, and people are signing up for us. I invite you to join us. That's another way that we can connect as a community, by coming together and sharing in this class on Wednesday evenings. Also, there is the Tuesday evening Community Care Connect call that I facilitate with members of the community. Please come out and join us. We have such a great time on Tuesday evenings, just seeing each other, getting a chance to share with each other, find out what's going on, checking in, and just being together. That's what we do on Tuesday evenings at 6:30 to 7:45. So please join us for Community Connect. The Zoom link, Nicole is putting into the comments right now, and it's also on our Facebook page. So I look forward to seeing you on Tuesday evenings. That's one of the highlights of my week, is getting a chance to see everyone on Tuesday evenings. Also, we have on-call practitioners. Don't forget that. If you are in need of prayer, please call a practitioner. The list should be on the comments right now also, and it's also on our Facebook page and on our website. If you go to our website and click the prayer button, then you can get the list of practitioners and their contact information. It's really important during this time to stay connected and stay connected with someone who can pray with you and who can really just hold the space for you and know the truth for you. Sometimes when we can't know it for ourselves, the practitioners can do that for us. Next week, our musical inspiration is going to be one of my favorite friends from Santa Cruz, Heather Houston, and she's also going to be doing a workshop after. I think it's Sing the World Awake. She's a fabulous singer and fabulous teacher, and I encourage you to attend that singing workshop. Doesn't matter whether you can sing or not. It's just such a great workshop that she facilitates, and I look forward to her spending next Sunday with us also. Continue to check our newsletter. One of the things I can tell you is that we will not be back in person service at all during the month of May. We still don't know exactly when we'll be back here, but it won't be during this month, and may not be during June, but I will be sending out a letter to the community this week, and probably tomorrow, so that you will know exactly what's going on with us here. And we just miss you guys so much, and we love you guys so much, and we really wish we could see you. And that's why we want you to see us on Tuesday evening, so that we get a chance to at least see each other and say hi. Don't forget to reach out to each other with a text or a phone call or an email or something that just says, hey, I love you, hey, I miss you, I'm thinking of you. Just remember that we are community. We are community, and we are a community of care and connection, and we want to continue to connect with each other as much as we possibly can. Finally, don't forget to read the Treatment for Supply. I have heard so many great things about the Treatment for Supply over the last couple of weeks. Someone was just sharing that she reads it every morning in her shower, and when she reads it, and how things have just taken off in her life since she's been reading. So don't forget, that's our regular closing prayer here, the Treatment for Supply. So don't forget to read it. You at home now, you can read it with meaning, with gusto, however you want to read it. Just read it, but read it with feeling and really mean it, and then see your life just really take off. That's all for me now. Let's remember to breathe and then take another breath. I love you guys. I miss you guys. I look forward to seeing you soon, and we'll see you again next Sunday. Take good care.